All right, here we are back for our continued look back, I guess, at all the team shops, all the teams we visited during the 2011 NASCAR Sprint Media Tour. We're up to Richard Childress Racing, the best lunch of the Media Tour. Little mini crab cakes, some salmon.
Some wine.
Childress wine.
What could be better?
It was lovely. And Richard Childress basically, although he tried to backpedal after the fact, he basically guaranteed that a driver from the RCR stable will knock off Jimmy Johnson and win a championship.
The people around me is what I got my most confidence in, and that's why I think we'll have a good shot this year. Anything can happen. You know, this sport can turn you upside down in a minute.
Well, you have to say that driver might be Kevin Harvick. He certainly came the closest of any of the RCR drivers last season to winning a championship, led the regular season points pretty much all the way, was the most consistent driver almost on the tour. Couldn't quite get there in the chase, but you have to say for Kevin Harvick, third is where he ended up. He's not going to do much better than that unless it's by winning a championship. So that has to be his one and only goal this season.
When we got done with Homestead, you know, obviously we raced and did everything that we could do. A lot of people want to blame it on the pit road speeding penalty, but we overcame that. And Jimmy finished in front of us, and if we'd have finished first, we wouldn't have won anyway.
Yeah, and Clint Boyer's also another driver to watch, although he and Richard Childress both seemed to still be carrying some resentment over what went down after the Loudon Chase race. They're not quite over it yet, but Clint Boyer did say winning at Talladega helped him put that behind him a little bit.
The way I see it, I've never finished outside the top 5 in it. You know, we definitely, finished 10th last year, but, without that penalty, we'd have been easily in the top 5, and I think we'd have been in a championship.
Well, I tell you what, Clint Boyer is one of those guys. He's performed in his career very well in the chase. Now, I think he might just need a little more on the victory side of the equation, but he's got the consistency to run up front and be a contender for the championship. He's a guy to watch, assuming that RCR is just as strong as they were last year.
And why wouldn't we assume?
Why wouldn't we assume?
Why would we assume that they're not going to be just as good?
All right, that's our take on Richard Childress Racing. We'll be back to talk about another great team in just a minute.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.